this Monday evening. Joining us on the show tonight will be the Haverfordwest County Chairman, Rob Edwards, as we reflect on a great season for the Bluebirds and the return of European football for the first time since 2004. And the squad building is underway with 3 new faces confirmed today. We'll also find out what's been the secret to this year's success and why the future is looking bright and exciting at the Oggy Bridge Meadow Stadium. We've got local cricket to cover as well, with a whole stack of runs scored on a sunny Saturday across Pembrokeshire. We'll wrap up the rugby season. We'll look at Manchester City winning the title, if Gordon can bear it. And where does Swansea go next, with Russell Martin set to go to Southampton? That's all on the way. Fraser will be with us shortly, but it's Gordon and I to kick things off. How are we tonight, Mr. Thomas?
I'm very good, Ben. I was out on that sunny Saturday afternoon. I went to Haverfordwest to watch a little bit of cricket. They were playing Pembroke Dock in Division 2. Then I went down to Johnston, who have been struggling to field a side. They did actually get 10 players to play against a very strong Whitland side. Mm-hmm. And Kevin Pearce was in fine batting form there for Whitland while I was there. And then I dashed over to Oakfield Park for one of the Division 1 games of the day, not the game of the day because Neyland were playing Cresselly, but I watched a little bit of the Llangwm versus Burton game, and there was a really good crowd there, Ben, which is good to see on a Saturday afternoon watching cricket. It's usually one man and his dog and a deck chair, you know. But there was a lot of people watching that derby fixture over there with a lot of, anticipation of what would happen in. But we'll talk about that now in a second.
Yeah, and after a slightly frustrating start in those opening weeks of the season because of the weather, it doesn't half make a difference for cricketers, doesn't it, when the sun comes out? And I think it was fair to say, certainly in Division 1, it was a batting Saturday, wasn't it, Gordon?
Oh, definitely. When the wicket dries out, it gives the batsman an opportunity to, strike the ball. And the outfield is obviously a lot quicker as well. But it was great to see the start of the Burton game. They played quite well, to be fair to them. And interesting that their Haverfordwest RFC head coach, who's now moved to Narberth, Snowy John, was in when I was there. Matthew, he had a 29, or I believe they finished about 176 for 6. But Llangwm came in, and Matthew John got the only wicket of the lad Beresford, but it was a day for Stephen Inwood, who is a classy cricketer. He scored 120 not out to guide Llangwm to a comfortable victory in the end. But, it was good to see so many people watching that game as well, as I said earlier. Great.
Yeah, that was a 9-wicket win in the end, wasn't it, for Llangwm? Made to look ridiculously easy, and Inwood was 120 not out. Probably the game of the day, though, was Cresselly Neyland, wasn't it? Neyland racking up 289 for 5. Cresselly gave it a really good go, didn't they? And got within 20 runs. They were 269 for 9 at the end. That was a close game. It looked like they might just pull it off at one point as well.
Yeah, another century from Mr. Koeman again. And he was aided and abetted by his earlier batsmen around him. But, Cresselly had a good fist. They had a go. They didn't sit back, and there's no draw in cricket, thankfully, now, Ben, is it? They've got to go for the win.
Well, we talked about that last season, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You did. Yeah. And to be fair, it is a good batting track that Glyn Cole usually gets ready there, but he's umpiring now, so it's one of his team that sorts out that wicket. But it's a fantastic batting wicket. It's Cresselly's ground, and it's picturesque as well. But Neyland got a crucial victory there. That's a good win away from home as well. And they'll take some beating this season again, won't they? Even though there's the likes of Carew, Cresselly, Llangwm, they'll all be trying to vie for that top spot come the end of the season. And we're only 5 games into the season, Ben. So it all bodes well for a really interesting... when we get to the halfway stage, we'll start to see who's vying for that league title.
Yeah, and if we just round up the other results in Division 1 from the weekend, Carew were winners against Saundersfoot, as you just mentioned there. Carew with 227 when they batted first. Saundersfoot all out for 138. One of the rare low-scoring games in Division 1 saw St Ishmaels beat Hebranston by 8 wickets. Hebranston 94 all out, and that was a pretty easy win there for St Ishmaels. We said about Llangwm winning at Burton, Narberth beating Llanrhian by 2 wickets. So actually,
that's
all in all,
a good win.
Yeah, it was
a
an exciting
really good
Saturday.
win against Llanrhian. Yeah. Narberth are a difficult side to beat on their own patch, and when the Quartermain boys are going at full pelt, Ben's an excellent bowler and Kyle is a very good batsman, and they got a bit of strength and depth in their side as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Narberth fare this season, and they got the experience of Matthew John, who's probably I won't say his age, but he's getting on in years, and his brother Davy. I thought Davy as well. Davy Johns had 4 wickets in that game on Saturday as well. So they can still turn their arm when they want to, and they can compete against the best teams as well, which is good to see.
And there were runs everywhere, really, across all the matches across Pembrokeshire this weekend. In Division 2, I think you mentioned the Haverfordwest Pembroke Dock game. Haverfordwest 254 for 6, beating Pembroke Dock by 19 runs. Another exciting finish there as well. And in Division 3, I think we should mention, or Division 4, in fact, we should mention Fishguard as well. They beat Haverfordwest thirds, but Fishguard racked up 349 for 3, batting first in that game, Gord.
That's a lot of runs, isn't it, man? They got some really good cricketers at Fishguard. Let's be honest, they're probably playing in a division where they shouldn't be playing, and hopefully by the end of the season they'll be promoted to Division 2 and have a bit more competition at that level. But Fishguard got a very good side, batting and bowling side, so I fancy them to quite comfortably win Division 3.
Okay, full results roundup every Monday on Pure West Sports. So we do that in the first hour. So you can listen back to that again as a podcast. Also, Bill did a good interview with Sam Rossiter about the women's game in Pembrokeshire as well. So you can listen to that again. Have a look at the website at purewestradio.com. And it was a busy sporting Saturday all round, actually. An event that I went to last year in Tudor Square in Tenby. I know the Pure West team were really busy on Saturday, Gordon, as the Car 10 event happened. I loved that last year. Something about Tudor Square as a place to host sporting events, be it Ironman, be it Car 10. It's always a good atmosphere, isn't it, when they finish there?
Massive, and they travel all the way down from, I believe it's Cardiff, is it, Ben? I've got that right, Cardiff, all the way down to Tudor Square in Tenby. And I know it was very well supported again this year, raising money for various charities. So congratulations to everybody who took part and everybody who was in Tudor Square to welcome them in after their tired, long journey. But it is a great atmosphere. You know what it's like down there with the Ironman as well. The Tenby is probably one of the most picturesque places in Pembrokeshire, and we're better than to finish in Tenby from that Cardiff Car 1000 run, and long may that continue as well. It's a superb event.
It is,
and I know
really
Pure West were there covering it as well all afternoon and setting up early in the morning while the traffic was going around them.
They were, absolutely, and the videos on the Facebook page, have a look at that. The team had a really good time in Tenby. Well done to you if you did complete Car 10. I think it's 107 or 108 miles they end up doing in the end.
Is that something you'd like to do then, Ben?
I don't know,
switch from running the marathon, do a few more miles on
cycling
the bike?
Does interest me. I mean, I've not done it before, really. I think
no,
I wouldn't rule it out. I've always said I'm not strong enough swimming, so I wouldn't be able to do a triathlon.
No, I'm not
like
saying
that,
a triathlon. No, you could jump on a bike, though. I think you'd do 100 miles quite comfortably.
He looks sore, though. Imagine 100 miles on a bike. I think I wouldn't be able to walk.
We'll get you a cushion for your seat. You'll be okay.
That sounds good. Maybe one day in the future, then, if you'll join me, Gordon, that will do a deal. Yeah, we'll do a deal.
I'll follow you in the car. There's not a problem there.
Yeah, congratulations to everyone who took part. And as I say, if you want to relive the day, all the videos on the Facebook page, you can see how Pure West covered another absolutely brilliant event to happen in Pembrokeshire. Are you okay to talk about Manchester City winning the title, Gord?
Of course I am. Best team always wins the title. And I have to say Manchester City are the best side in the Premier League.
Yeah.
What have they won? Is it 5 in the last 6 seasons?
Yeah.
They give Real Madrid a hiding in the semi-final. They're on the brink of a treble as Mr. Watson joins us with a wry smile on his face, because we're talking about Manchester City, not Man United.
Absolutely. Fraser, well timed. Evening to you. We are going to actually take a break in just a sec, because we're going to talk to the Haverfordwest chairman, Rob Edwards. Where have you been tonight, Fraser?
I've been inspiring the next generation, Ben. I've been coaching Llanrhian under 11s against Haverfordwest, which has been just about as organised chaos as it is trying to play for Llanrhian second team on a Saturday, to be honest. But someone has to.
Well, give us a match report. How did it? Is that your first outing as coach of the season, Fraser?
It is. Yeah, inspiring the next generation of Jeffrey boycotts after Gordon's taunt last week. But no. Just trying to get a junior section going here to end their first game. They didn't do too badly either.
Excellent stuff. It looks like a nice evening for it as well.
I could do with a specialist bowling coach, though, if either of you two are interested. I can teach him how to hold a bat and block, but getting him to use a straight arm is proving difficult at the moment.
Yeah, well, there we go. The next generation of Fraser Watson's coming through, Gordon, under his expert eye tonight, doing his bit. Excellent work. We were just talking about Man City winning the Premier League title. Fraser, that was in the end, it was Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest doing them a favour, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, anti-climax in a way. Not for you, Ben, but for the neutral, I suppose. You always suspected they would catch Arsenal. But I thought it was in a position they would have to go to the wire, and to have won it without even have to kick a football in their last 3 games, I think was probably anticlimactic in terms of the league. But look, they are the best team, aren't they? The argument will go on about the amount of money and spending power they have. They do have these charges hanging over them as well. We can't ignore that. But in terms of how they play and on the eye, they're up there with the greatest ever Premier League side. They're in that conversation now, and they've got a superb coach to boot.
I thought the Real Madrid game last week as well was up there with one of the best performances you'll see from a British side in Europe.
Yeah, certainly. I think if they go on to win the Champions League, I think that'll go down as perhaps the defining performance in the Guardiola year. I think to put them away like that under pressure.
Good stuff. All right, listen, we'll come back in just a sec and we'll talk to the chairman of Haverfordwest County, Rob Edwards, about their qualification for Europe and why squad rebuilding has just started and why actually qualifying for Europe was the first of those targets that he set when he came into the club and first spoke to us on Pure West Sport. Almost 3 years ago. So looking forward to catching up with Rob. We've got local rugby to cover as well now. The season's almost done and dusted. It was a busy one at Narberth as well, with Sean Gale bowing out. And you can hear Bill's interview with him in that first hour. Again, if you go to our website at purewestradio.com. So we'll come back in just a few minutes' time for more this evening right here on Pure West Sport.
Eaton Evans and Morris